So the other day I was at the local grocery store, and this was around 6 in the morning. And as I'm there, I see a woman walk in who's probably in her early 20s. And no kidding, it looked like it was a UFC ring entrance. The way her chin was up, the way her chest was pumped up, the way she acted like she owned the place. So as I'm doing my grocery shopping, I don't think a whole lot of it because in the area I'm in, you do see a lot of that strong and independent female so-called. But as I'm leaving, I see the cash register across from me. And this gentleman who's working there is probably also in his early 20s. And he's ringing her up and scanning her groceries, and she's being very rude and dismissive towards him. He says good morning, she says whatever, like just ignores him, brushes it off, as if this guy was trying to get her number or something. When the only number he wanted was the one for the rewards program, if that applies, or the PIN number so she could pay for her groceries. And as I'm in my car in the parking lot, I see her loading groceries in the car, and she can barely do it. She can barely even put a bag of groceries or a thing of water in her car. She's struggling to do that. Now, I don't help her. I choose not to help her. I choose not to involve myself with modern women like this because look at how she behaved towards the cashier. Assuming the guy was trying to get her number or something, or wanted her, whatever she would have thought in her head, or tried to make it seem like that she was so desirable. I'm not going to play that game of I'm being the creep, and I'm not doing that. So she can go gossip to her friends about how this guy tried to hit on her in the grocery store parking lot. I'm not playing that game. And a lot of men aren't playing that game anymore. Again, it's unfortunate that it's come to this. But if there was an older woman there, I would have helped her, of course. But these modern women who act like this, who talk like this, who think like this, you couldn't pay me to involve myself with them. I want to stay far away from them as possible. So she thinks that she's strong and independent for struggling to barely even lift her groceries into her car. The point is, most men want nothing to do with modern women like this, and they will struggle with the ramifications of that. Not just physically, by the way. I'm talking about their well-being. Everything will take a toll because they are so dependent on other people, in particular in men's validation and attention. Why would they act like they're above all these men? They would be indifferent. They wouldn't care. But they want everything to be about them, to be about selfishness, to be about them being wanted, them being chased. While men are not doing the chasing anymore, they want to artificially make it seem like it's existing. This guy working a job at the grocery store early in the morning, he's not there to chase women. Even recently, every now and then I'll go to the local Buffalo Wild Wings with some friends. And there's a waitress who works there, and she will refer to us as friend a lot, right? She'll refill our drink, and she'll be like, oh, thank you, or this and that, and hey, friend, and this. When I hear that, and it's not just me, because the people I go there with think the same thing. It's as if she's trying to put us in the friend zone, assuming we're going there to try to get her number, or to try to get in a relationship with her, or to try to hit on her, or try to date her. That's what she's thinking. And she's trying to artificially make it seem like she is being chased by saying, oh, I got to put him in the friend zone. Meanwhile, we're just there to enjoy our evening. I don't go there for the women at all. I go there to enjoy my night with friends of mine, or to watch something if there's a sport on the TV, which I don't really follow sports. But that's why I'm going there. Come to find out, her boyfriend ended up getting a job there. Which my thing is this: if you're to the point where you don't trust your woman, your girlfriend, your wife, to where you have to work at their place of work because you don't think they're up to any good, why are you still with them? Just walk away. And again, this is a point I want to make, is that you have a lot of men who will overlook red flags like this, who will even get with women like this, who are not loyal. And then it backfires. I was watching the show Sopranos, and I've in a bit of a nostalgia kind of phase lately, but I was watching an episode of The Sopranos, and they were having a conversation about divorce. And one of the gentlemen made a comment about how it's terrible that a kid would be stripped away from their parents. And of course, I couldn't agree more. But you have a lot of men who are rushed into relationships like this, very rushed to engage with women, to marry women like this. And I think a lot of it even stems from how we were conditioned at a young age. And my point with this is, I remember when I was in elementary school, and I'm pretty sure we all had come across this, but the teacher would time us to see how many pages we could read in a number of minutes, perhaps a minute, 2 minutes. And that would be what our, I guess, grade would be based on, or achievement would be based on. Meanwhile, it's not about digesting that information, understanding what you're reading, what you're seeing. So a lot of men, I think, carry over that mindset with relationships. It's not about her past, red flags, how she's like with family, past relationships, behavior. It's about rushing into things as fast as possible. And you see it backfire a lot. Like when it comes to divorce, these are the facts. Most women, pretty much all of the richest women in the world, got there because of divorce. If not divorce, it was from inheritance. It was from being a widow. So really off the hard work of another man, off the hard work of a man is what it comes down to. So the reality is you have a lot of men who sadly are rushing into relationships like this. And the saddest thing is you have a lot of men who are going to have to learn the hard way. They're going to have to learn the hard way. They're not going to listen to the discernment of their friends, even their own discernment perhaps in some cases, because they think that they can fix this girl, they can change this girl. Another thing too, when it comes to helping, a lot of the time women like this, they'll just use it to disrespect you. They will use that help as a place of vulnerability. They'll see it as that. And they will use it to betray you down the line. They'll hold it in their back pocket. A perfect example, when I was in my early 20s, there was someone who I knew, we'd go to the gym, and he'd ask me this advice about lifting and diet, and I would give him the advice. I would give him the help. I would try to help him. And he wouldn't listen. He would ask the same thing again, being feminine, by the way, wanting attention and validation and wanting to be on your mind. So I would give him the same advice, wouldn't listen. He'd go ask someone else the same thing. This loop is the same thing women do, just that it's a lot more common. My point being is if someone does not respect your time, if you are trying to help someone and they don't respect your time, in hindsight, they don't respect you. If someone does not respect your time, they do not respect you. So, look, I'm not interested in dealing with women who, number one, offer nothing in their relationship more than just being female. Meanwhile, they want us to do all these things, bending over backwards, jumping over hurdles. Women who are monetizing themselves for male attention, whether it's getting these cosmetic enhancements, and by the way, which makes them end up looking like Jigsaw, doing things on social media for male attention and validation, which the rare times that I go on social media, I've pretty much filtered my algorithm to where it's just dog videos. And by the way, I'm not talking about them. Dog videos, animal videos, where anytime I see a woman pop up who's trying to monetize themselves and create a bunch of men in their comments and DMs and attention and validation, I will click the 3 dots in the top right corner and say not interested, because I am not interested. I'm not interested in women who want to monetize themselves for male attention and validation, because there's no exclusivity. What I find funny is a lot of the women who are doing this, those same women 10 to 15 years ago, like when I was in community college, I remember my first quarter there, they were the same ones saying that women should not be as revealing in video games and men this and that, saying that those body types are unrealistic, which I remember there was a class I took. Hard to believe this was even something that was, by the way, in a general education class. Talking about how Lara Croft from Tomb Raider should be censored and that her body type is unrealistic, not attainable for women. When it's like, just hit the gym, by the way. Hit the gym and maybe it'll be attainable. But they went from that to getting cosmetic procedures to look like those characters, to want to get male attention, and to wearing revealing clothing now more than ever. I was near the University of Washington, and of course in Seattle it's raining most of the year. And there was a woman there who was wearing really next to nothing in the pouring rain with a backpack on. I'm thinking to myself, how would any parent allow her daughter to leave the house, or rather their daughter, his daughter, her daughter, to leave the house dressed like that? And I would assume she's probably out of state or living on college campus, so her parents probably have no idea. If I had a girlfriend or wife, I would never want her leaving the house dressed like that. So we went from women should cover up, women should this, to open season basically. It does not make any sense. And then they do that. They want to act like they're strong and independent, and that they don't want male attention and validation and don't care anymore, and that they're somehow at peace being single. It's the most backwards thing I've ever seen. It is literally the most backwards thing that I have ever seen. It's like you're running, but you're on a treadmill. You're not going to get anywhere doing that. You are not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get a good man number one. They're not going to take you seriously. You wonder why they hit a certain age. We'll say 40 because, I'm around 30 now, so don't want to feel too old here. But no, in all seriousness, 30, 35, 40, when they say they want the strong and independent, or rather the good man, which that could apply to, these were the women who were dressing like that in college age, wanting attention and validation. The good man is boring, which I want to talk about something too with when it comes to these dating apps. I used to use them when I was around the age of 20. And of course, it's just all about attention and validation. I haven't used them in years. I have no plans to get back on them, no matter what people say or try to advise, say, oh, that's the way of dating. I don't care. I'm not going to play that game. But you have these dating apps where I've seen women, and I've dealt with this firsthand. Women will match with a guy. They will go as far as talking to them for even a number of days, planning a date, and then just ghost. Just ghost. The morning of, you don't hear anything from them. Because they got the attention and validation they wanted. They're going to discard it, and they're going to go on to the next person and play the game all over again. I mean, I've heard this I've seen this first person. I've heard someone say literally that the only reason they use dating apps is for attention and validation, for a self-esteem boost. I mean, that's ridiculous. But again, that's why you see a lot of men getting off of those. They're not playing that game anymore. So let those women post their picture in there and have all their extravagant descriptions like their summer getaways. Let them. And they'll be talking to the void. Let them play that game. Don't match with them. Don't swipe. Don't like. Nothing. Nothing. Number one, you're not going to find a woman worth taking seriously on a dating app to begin with. That's not where you should be looking anyway. So, really, that's what it comes down to. Just like this woman in the parking lot struggling to load groceries. They're going to struggle with this idea of having men out of their lives, whether it's even in a situation like this, to help load groceries into the car. Whether it's being there to provide and protect for something. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So, you have women who want to control and dominate their relationships as well with this whole strong and independent mindset. Want to compete with men, and especially because again, I went to college, I've seen this a lot too with kind of academia, women who get into good careers and jobs. Wanting to compete with men in the relationship and try to take control and take the lead in the household. And then you wonder why the kids are confused, why their father is being disrespected and humiliated even in public settings that I've seen. You couldn't pay me to put myself in that position. That's not going to happen. That is in no way going to happen. And I had an interesting comment on in my last video about, because I mentioned with jiu-jitsu, about women at the jiu-jitsu gym and rolling with women. And I'll be upfront, I don't do it. Number one, I'm a 200 plus pound man. So I don't want to roll with women anyway. Now, if a woman is a seasoned black belt, someone like that, out of respect, I'll roll with them, sure. If they ask me to roll. But it's not my first choice, and it's something that's very awkward. I mean, they have women-only classes. I know that's kind of in the whole kind of jiu-jitsu realm, maybe that's a controversial topic in itself, but you have women-only classes. I just don't agree with it personally. I was talking to a woman in jiu-jitsu, actually. Now, I was going to reply to the comment with this, so I figured I might as well mention this in the video. And there was a guy, again, 200 plus pound man, had a wife, by the way, who refused to roll with women. The guy's also a black belt, so he gets seniority. He can roll with whoever he wants, by the way. And this girl was slandering him, saying she left the gym because this guy would not roll with her. I'm thinking to myself, why would you want to roll around on the ground with a man in the first place? You think that's empowering? You think you're strong and independent for doing that? anytime I've rolled with a woman, and anyone who's in jiu-jitsu knows, or anyone who's tussled or wrestled with a girl, whatever it is. Because I know even I've seen high school wrestling is sometimes you have girls and boys wrestling, which I find odd as well. You know that you're going sub 10% for the most part. Like I said, unless it's someone who's super experienced, black belt, world champion, whatever it might be. This idea of competing with a man and wanting to show off about how strong and independent you are because you can lift the groceries by yourself and you can flex your bicep in the gym, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's not something, number one, that's a respectable trait. Men are going to look at that and they're going to think it's strange. Women like that in the grocery store that I mentioned, acting like they're from another planet when the only planet they should be going to is Planet Fitness. It doesn't make any sense. So more and more men are waking up. More and more men are not playing the game anymore. And like I said, I feel, in a way, older women, like if this was a woman who was a senior, even if she was rude, because I've seen that as well. You hold doors for people. Sometimes they're rude, whatever. Everyone has their off days. I would have helped her. But these modern women nowadays, the mindset, the entitlement, I want to stay as far away from them as possible. That's what it's come down to. They've let it come to that. So, as always, guys, I appreciate you for viewing the video. Hope you guys have a good one. Thank you.